Alright, something's causing trouble down in hydroponics, and I gotta go down there and give it something to drink. But first I gotta stop by the medical clinic, and it's a good thing too, 'cause I gotta donate some plasma.
Shit. Isaac, I can smell the contaminated air from here.
Well, that was me.
It's spreading faster than I expected. I'm trying to isolate it, but it's not going to buy us much time. We have to get that thing off the ship. The chemicals you need are in the chemistry lab. I'll hack the door for you when you get there.
You can't stand in the way of God's plan, the natural order. Are you blind like the rest?
Whispering doesn't help, dude. Everyone can hear you.
Looks like someone has reprogrammed the door locks on this deck. And recently, too. I guess we're not alone here after all. Someone doesn't want you in this part of the ship.
Well, I did fail to make an appointment. Huh, I thought the babies all left the medical deck. Well, this is new. Now, these wall monsters, I would assume, if we were to incorporate them into our necromorph organism theory, are simply necromorphs that stood or leaned next to the wall for long enough that the organism began spreading out along the hard surface of the wall, treating it as though it were a part of its newly adopted skeletal structure. It launches these pods which can knock your head off if you get too close, and which, once settled, grow a phallic tentacle which shoots barbs at passers-by. Furthermore, the grotesque creature plastered to the wall has several tentacles of its own protruding from its chest, which must be severed to quickly end the thing's life. There's a violent malfunction of medical imaging equipment. I hope that never happens when there's someone inside that thing.
You're close to the chemistry station. Once you get the chemicals, you're also going to need a DNA sample of the alien tissue. I'll search the records for one.
Apparently obtaining a DNA sample of the alien tissue isn't as simple as just scooping a chunk of necromorph out of the wall with a spoon.
Personal log, Dr. Ch.5, sir. I now have a live subject for my study. I'm eager to validate my tissue regeneration theory. Initial restraint was problematic, but now the patient's resting comfortably. He trusts me, Dr. Kite. He puts his life in my hands. He knows his part in all of this. Understands what I'm doing. The forehead has been swabbed clean and marked. What are you doing with that? And I'm now attempting to create a passage to insert the sample into...
That's Dr. Mercer, the game's cliché mad scientist.
Processing request. Please stand by. Oxygen compound
What are you?
depleted.
Oh, speak of the devil.
Your fight for survival is admirable but pointless. And yet you keep on going. It almost makes me think that we had hope as a species. Am I the only one who sees that we have died out a long time ago? We just haven't accepted it yet. Stop running. Stop your struggle. Our future, your future, the future of our race ends here. Allow me to introduce you to humanity's child, the children that will replace us. Our greatest creation.
Alright, I like kids as long as they're not those tentacle babies. Where is the little tyke? Now wait a minute, you can't mean that thing. Hey, I dismembered you!
You can't kill it, Isaac! It's just gonna keep regenerating! Get out of there! Run!
Anyone there? Repeat. Come in, Isaac. Kendra, is anyone there?
Hammond, where the hell have you been?
I've reached hydroponics. It's bad down here. Really bad. You can hardly breathe. The organic matter is growing everywhere. Eyes are stinging. Must be seeing things.
Don't worry, Hammond. This poison will save you.
Now you need to find a DNA sample of the growth. According to lab records, there's an inert sample stored in the ICU. Dr. Mercer was apparently doing intensive research on it. I've been trying to contact Hammond, but all I'm getting is static. Isaac, you've got to hurry.
Mercer, you fiend!
Your persistence surprises me. Holding on to your final breath, you claw your way along.
That's beautiful.
You hold on to what was once your world, but now it belongs to the children. Be glad of the knowledge that your death will bring their birth. Listen. Can you hear it? It's coming. Say your prayers.
Dear Lord, please kill Dr. Mercer and his hideous science project. Amen. There are two unfailing cliches in survival horror games. The first is the mad scientist. When there's a plague of undead, and it wasn't created by human beings in a laboratory, chances are human beings are trying to make it even worse in a laboratory. It's hard to tell where this cliche originated, though Frankenstein is an obvious influence. But even so, there have been real-life examples of man-made biological disasters. The Africanized honeybee is a good example. Also known as killer bees, Africanized honeybees are particularly aggressive bees, originally hybridized by biologists for increased honey production. The bees have a tendency to infect common honeybee hives by killing the local queen and replacing her with their own. The abomination was accidentally released into the world by those who created it, and it continues to spread to a wider region of the world, and successfully kills humans yearly, though not nearly as many as people think. Killer bees only kill 1 to 2 people a year in the United States. Most of the fear factor is just hype. Another example is genetically modified organics, or GMO foods. GMOs are patented food crops modified to include the genes of non-edible and poison-resistant organisms. Some plants produce a natural toxin capable of warding off pests. Geneticists have managed to insert the genes that produce these toxins into the DNA profile of food crops. And while yes, they do produce toxins that prevent pests from eating them, the toxins don't prevent people from eating these plants, as human beings will eat anything the government approves for consumption, whether it actually is safe to eat or not.
Someone keeps shutting down the door protocol. I bypassed the lock. Go!
The other popular type is the GMO food that is resistant to poison. In agriculture, weeds can become a big problem. And the trouble with spraying your farm with weed killer is that weed killer often turns out to be crop killer too. But with GMO technology, it's possible to plant a crop that can soak up weed killer all day and be unharmed. The trouble with this technology is that weed killer has a tendency to be poisonous to human beings as well as plants. So if you're eating an ear of corn that's soaked with weed killer, you may be doing certain parts of your body more harm than good. GMO crops, being so resistant to pests and pollutants, have a tendency to spread wherever they are used, quickly contaminating local wilderness and non-GMO farms. And it is estimated that some varieties of foods have been outcompeted and completely replaced already with GMO varieties. The other survival horror cliché will be discussed in a later video. My condolences, lady. You got any plasma? Gotta run through the clinic, gotta gather up the poison. Already been to the clinic, can't think of anything new to say. Hello, Mad Scientist's Laboratory.
Person log, Dr. Ch.5. The specimen continues to respond well to my experiments. Its cellular fortitude, not to mention elasticity, is remarkable. Dr. Kine, I'm sure, would disapprove. But I do not anticipate that issue, as the good doctor is busying himself with the marker. As if that matters now. He has also succumbed to the same dementia that afflicted the colony. Only yesterday he told me he had spoken to his wife, but Amelia Kine has been dead for some years.
What? Dr. Kine was talking to dead people?
My subject grows restless. Patience. Your time is soon. Very soon.
Adding sample 9797 to chemical compound. Final mixing required.
Alright, got it. Now let's go mix this stuff.
That's it, Isaac. Now you just need to...
This has gone far enough. Accept your part in the God's plan. Embrace your own extinction.
Warning. Life support system failure on medical.
Who the hell was
Please
that?
evacuate immediately.
Isaac, he's decompressed the entire deck, and I'm being locked out of those systems. All the air has been vented into space. You should be able to bring it back online from the security station, but you don't have much time.
Not a problem. I can do this.
You've got everything you need to make the poison. Now get back to the chemistry lab.
What are you going to do? Do it fast. Get out of your breathing.
You're cutting out, Hammond. I'm gonna try to switch over. Shit. I lost the signal. I'll continue scanning for his location. You have to get that compound mixed.
We accomplished a lot in this video. See you next time.